And
Yes.
this dude's at 10:30 at night because it says live, right? 10:30 Eastern time. He's working, and he's, I'm going, this is, he's cool. And you have a representative in Texas that was totally backing him and talk about, how we have knee-jerk responses and, we need to calm down and, not. So any of your congressmen, or even, whether they are right or wrong, you've got to make calls. You've got to do what you got to do. The program today, I don't know if you heard, I'm sure you did, Alex with David Icke. It was absolutely fantastic. I also I always listen to Alex's show. I didn't catch as much last week. I tried to catch you guys Thursday night. We Are Change LA is very active, and I know that a lot of them listen to Alex's show and your show. You guys picked up a station in LA, right?
I'm not sure. There are micros out there that put us out, and then Alex did? Yeah, 870 a.m. I guess Alex just jumped on. Somebody picked my show up, huh? I'm 9 to midnight. There can't be that much competition out there. I think I do a pretty good show.
I wanted to touch base with you guys Thursday night. Friday, Muhammad, he's had to go to court. He is a We Are Change LA active guy. Served in the military, blah, blah, is getting harassed for standing out, exercising his freedom of speech. He has a second court date on the 26th. Please make a note of that, if you would. I'd appreciate it. And that we send positive thoughts, prayers, whatever it is. We need to show up, and we need to make a stand and support. I wasn't able to make the Friday court, but I'm going to rearrange my schedule and do everything that I can to show up, for him on the 26th, but the We Are Change LA and Inland Empire, which is where I live, is very, very active. And
no, I know Bruno, and I can't think of what the young lady's name is that I've had dinner with, and they do some great work. They actually, it might be Edie. Is she the one that just confronted the Black Pope on YouTube? I'm not sure who it is, but they do great work. Linda, I thank you so much for the pledge and the call. I got to jump. Let's go to Sean in Utah. Sean, you're on the line. Yes, sir. How are you?
Good to speak to you, sir. I just had a comment. There was a tasering in Utah. I sent you a message about it.
Is this the one where the DUI suspect got tasered and then shot 6 times, just to death? Or is this a different one? You know what? It might be the young man who was mentally ill with his parents, the KSLL story, KSL.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I actually do have that in my stack somewhere. I'm literally, again, went through over 120 messages, but here it is right here. I printed out about 40, 45 of the stories I got. KSL editorial, director's son dies after being tased by police. And what happened here is that this 32-year-old young man, I don't want to call him young man, but, I'm going to be 30 this summer, so I don't think I'm that old. And he had a history of mental illness. He was with his family, and he jumped out of the car during this spat. Now, the parents thought it would be smart to call the police. It was out on the highway. And when the police got to him, they tased him to death. They lost their son because, first of all, they knew this guy was mentally ill before they went there. All right? So maybe tasing wasn't the best option. They obviously knew he was also unarmed if the parents were calling it in, and they were showing the concern. So why is it that they go right to the taser over someone who really hasn't broken the law? They're just having a mental episode. Maybe they do need to go to, a health clinic or something like that, or be hospitalized for mental illness, sure. But there's no reason to kill them. And it's just this, trigger-happy society where these guys, don't care. And they think the easiest way out is to taser someone. They need to realize people are dying from this. When I watched that video of the 72-year-old woman getting tased twice, cop put his hands on her first. Cop was 3 times the size of her. If he really wanted to get rough with her, he could have just thrown her up against the car, thrown her in cuffs, and put her in the back of the squad car. No reason to tase her. And, with these tasings, look what you get. Sometimes you get death, my friend.
Yeah, I thought this one stood out because the latest reports were that he had stripped his clothes off.
Mm-hmm. So this guy was naked when he got killed.
Yeah, obviously insane. He had no clothes. So why are they tasering this guy?
Yeah, and especially, I didn't know he was naked, but if he was naked, that would say, again, this guy does not have any weapons on him. He does not pose any more of a physical threat than maybe I'm going to get punched or elbowed. But again, it speaks to this out-of-control, soft society. Cops used to be, first of all, they used to be law enforcement who were here to serve and protect. They were officers, they were peace officers. You know, they didn't want to just tase. You put a taser in the wrong guy's hand, he's going to use it. And they get off on using it, and it is really unfortunate that they had to kill this kid who, again, was nothing more than mentally ill and didn't pose much of a threat at all. You got anything else for me?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point that, yeah, you know, it's evident that, you know, the taser should be used when maybe there's a big guy that's beating up on cops. You know, I've seen a couple videos where it's like, yeah, this guy is, like, big, and he's overpowering the cops, and they tase him to
Sir, sometimes the cops are just out of control, even without a taser. You know, I had this video. I didn't play it, but I was going to play it on Friday. I forgot all about it. This 15-year-old girl, I don't know if she was a subordinate. She's probably a wise ass, whatever. She's in a cell, and the cop's looking at her, and she kicks her shoe at the cop. A shoe, a sneaker. We've all had a sneaker thrown at us at one time in our lives. What does this cop do? He runs in, he bashes her head into the wall, bashes her head on the floor, and then punches her in the face 2 or 3 times as another cop comes in and cuffs her. It's disgusting. It's out of control. It's despicable. And you know what? I'm going to find that clip. We're going to play it on the other side. We're going to get to even more news, take more calls, 866-582-9933. It's the Infowarrior 3-hour news blitz with my favorite people out there, my fans, my listeners. Love you guys. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. We'll be back after this. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv, and go watch the EMT dash cam over at the Infowarrior.com right now. We are back. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. And before I change subjects in just a moment, I do want to show this video for prisonplanet.tv viewers. You think I'm lying that this 15-year-old girl got her head slammed into a wall, punched in the face twice for kicking her shoe at God, at the Lord. Let's hit it. Let's just hit the clip, and I'll do the play-by-play as it goes. You got it? J-Ron hit it. All right, so here we go. Girl's sitting there. Hey, how you doing? I'm not very happy that I'm being cuffed. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, she's taken out. She doesn't have any cuffs on right here. Says something. Kicks her shoe. One shoe. Boom. This guy runs in, punches her in the face, slams her head into the wall. Down she goes. Head on the ground. One punch. And then a right hook and another right hook. 2 punches. Why punch her in the face twice after you slammed her head into a wall, you scumbag? Unbelievable. So if you watched it, there it is. By the way, again, the EMT video is up on theinfowarrior.com. Top story. Posted it yesterday. Wanted to play it. There's a couple curse words, and the cop is out of control right off the bat. Totally, I am all powerful. I am the man. How dare you question my authority? Just cursing, getting in the face of this other guy who's trying to transport a patient. Can't believe. He's like, I don't need these hand gestures. I don't need this, bleep. I mean, the guy is on paid leave right now. He needs to be fired, and he needs to stop receiving a government paycheck. The taxpayers pay his salary. Why? He's abusing his power. He's pulling over ambulances with sick women in the back and then trying to arrest the EMT because he thinks he's God. He thinks he has all the authority in the world. He's a power-hungry nutcase. That's what he is. Oh, let's see. Let's go to Jason in Illinois. Jason, you're on the line. Yes, Jason.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Good, man.
Hey, I wanted to make a comment. There was a woman who actually made a comment about David Icke earlier. Okay. Listen, I'm a Prison Planet member, obviously. I'm watching the show, and I donated on the money bomb, so I'm saying this with all due respect and as humbly as I possibly can.
Not a fan of the Icke and the lizard people, right?
You know what? That stuff has no place. We scratch, scrape, and claw for every bit of respect and credibility in this movement. That stuff has no frickin' place whatsoever.
You know what it is, though? Here's the deal, and you know I'm not a huge fan of Icke either. I have read some of his material. You know, I have read some of his material. You know, obviously everybody out there knows, you know, my feelings on the reptilians and the Anunnaki and all that stuff. I think a lot of it's metaphorical. I have not seen any physical evidence of, you know, interdimensional shape-shifting lizard people. Let me say this, though. David Icke will not bring that stuff up on the show unless prompted by a caller. 90% of his stuff is good. You know, Alex Jones years ago called it the turd in the punch bowl. Ever since that, you know, him and Icke had kind of an on and off again relationship. They've kind of reconciled. He does bring in a huge audience. It's kind of like, you know, Alex Jones goes on Coast to Coast AM. What do they talk about? They talk about aliens, UFOs. They talk about paranormal experiences, out of body, psychics. Yeah, all that stuff. A lot of stuff that I totally believe is 100% Johnny nonsense. However, how many times do you hear somebody call into the show and say, yeah, I got turned on to you a couple months ago from coast to coast? So, my feeling on that is, as long as he's not going to get into it, he brings other people into our material, and maybe they can get over there are always those people that are kind of, attracted to the exotic, I think that's why, other than COINTELPRO, you see people who promote no planes or laser weaponry. There are those people out there. It's unfortunate that we get pigeonholed into that kind of a movement when there are people like Alex Jones and myself that, go to the documents, go to the videotape, go to the photographic evidence. I'm going to hold you over so we can further illustrate the point. However, we are pro-free speech, and if there's one thing about Ike, he's not a Nazi, at least. He's actually a pretty decent guy. We're going to come back. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas.